if you've had an opportunity to look at the minutes for the last admin.
All right.
Well, she emailed it to us, so you have it.
I'm sorry. It was too easy.
You had the opportunity through that official email.
I had to get everything set up, so let's say we're getting this time.
Thank you.
Now.
I know y'all read them.
Yeah, you read them.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second on this?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All right, the minutes passed. Mr. Green, you up here with us first, or, oh, all right.
Jumping here.
Hello, council. How are y'all today?
Doing good.
Are you gonna do both of these?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Unless Sylvan wants to. Okay. I figured that was your answer. So this is a request to adopt job classification. These next two are actually both in public works and related to fleet maintenance. Previously, we had the position of IPS scheduler in our pay plan. And so these are just, we're making the job classes more modern because of course we don't have IPS anymore.
Sure.
So we're asking to adopt the resource control specialist. The employees do planning, scheduling, it's just more modern titles.
Doesn't cost any more money.
No, sir.
Any questions?
Second.
It's a question. Oh, did he motion?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's two.
And the same. with
All
the-
right, the similar situation in the fleet services specialist job classification.
Yes, sir. The same with the fleet services coordinator job classification. Again, this is this position is actually vacant.
Okay.
But when it was vacated as a scheduler, an IPS scheduler.
And
So
since
we're asking.
it's not in IPS anymore.
Right. It's in public works.
Any questions about
I'll make a
that?
motion.
I'll second. I'd like to hear from Sullivan.
I don't think Mr. Green has anything to say. All right, do we, okay, have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank
passes.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. Who's doing the Kay or Brendan?
Both of us.
Both of, oh.
Sorry, I didn't see the screen change.
Revision to public
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
resolution.
Kay's gonna assist with kind of the play-by-play, and I'll give you kind of the broad color commentary. With Elevate, we had established a public art committee, and which has worked fairly well. It has a budget requirement as far as what percentage to be signed. If project's over budget, then we don't always do the art, because if we encroach, that doesn't always make sense. One of the things we've learned is we don't have a proper reporting system. So what we'd like to do is change it to one in our advisory committee. We have noticed on a couple projects of late that maybe the committee is acting outside of, sometimes including maybe council, getting council members' feedback, stakeholder feedback. So we'd like to merge those two worlds together. So the committee, advisory committee, would be comprised of a representative from the Arts and Humanities Council. So think about Arts Council is how I typically refer to it as. A representative from Kentucky, a representative from the community centric with the arts, appointed by the Director of Arts and Entertainment, which is Ms. Day, and then essentially an application process that the committee would select from a faculty member from Shelton State, Stillman, or the University of Alabama, basically opening it up to someone invested in the arts at higher education level. The quick version of this is essentially is that any project that's associated with this, if that group looks at an RFP, if it's on a particular site, the funding, council member and or mayor would be brought into that process at the beginning to vet it. This also establishes a reporting structure that would flow up through Ms. Day to myself, the mayor, and then ultimately the council for approval. So one of the things this has really done is to really emphasize the advisory component, make sure council is included, make sure we don't have maybe competing RFPs, right? We're looking at something here that a council member may want, committee's looking at something over here. We want those worlds to merge together and make sure that we can get more public art out into the community, but in a more efficient and streamlined fashion. I think is the easiest way to put it. So I would see it not detracting, I would see this actually adding more, but also getting a little bit more input from council members and key stakeholders that are involved in certain projects where applicable. I think of Miss Day's work on the Benjamin Barnes. We did some cool stuff over. I know Mr. Tyner's been involved trying to sort through. We're at that budget amount, but trying to find some cool things to do at the tennis center. So that would be some examples just of late. So no funding required for this. No massive changes related to the overall just reporting structure to the council. It's more of an internal policy function, but we did need to amend the resolution for that. Questions? Comments?
Motion.
Second.
Wait. Miss Day had something to say. Are you okay?
He covered everything. It's just very simply to, like Brendan said, or Mr. Moore said, to create an effective and efficient system for handling, you know.
I'm not clear on the
Yes, sir.
We need to get the car.
function of the advisory. Are they selecting the artwork to be
Recommended.
recommended?
They would be working through the RFP with the council member and or mayor designee and K within that committee. So that way, think if you've got a,
Working through the RFP, you mean
Meaning like I would not-
evaluating the
Yes, sir.
results of the RFP or working through putting it out?
both potentially. And I would think Ms. Howard, who's not here, has actually been fairly involved with the committee as well on a couple different projects. The best way to put it, Councilor Busby, is some council members are a little bit more hands-on in a good way and wanting to be involved in that process when developing the RFP, reviewing, looking. Some don't want to be maybe as involved, and that's quite all right. But we want to make sure we don't get competing kind of issues to where we've got this committee out RFPing something else is being looked at a council member. So now I've got two different budget items, two pieces of art on one site that aren't necessarily working in concert with each other. This would merge a little bit more of the council side with the advisory committee so they can be on the front end part, whereas it gets to, say, finance committee or one of these other groups, you would have all the details in front of you for a proper vote on what you're approving, what the budget is, and the timeline. So it's really what I think of as more of an organizational tool and budgeting tool.
Any other questions?
And you would also have quarterly reports, other just basic items that don't exist today, which I do think would be very productive. The ultimate goal is to get more art out into the public in a streamlined fashion than reduce. So,
We have a motion and a second. If I don't hear any other questions, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Mr. Pons, come enlighten us. Downtown Riverfront Overlay District Permit for 2610 Stillman Boulevard.
Yes, sir. So y'all know this is the Taco Bell on Lurleen. So they are proposing to essentially demolish the existing structure, shift it a little bit to the west, and rebuild it. That's pretty much what's going on here. So here's the existing property. They've acquired some property adjacent to it, that kind of a tree covered area there. They've acquired that property. They do, and the petitioners here, the architects here, who can speak more on this, but that a lot of these places do kind of refresh their brand every few years, and so that's what they're going through right now with Taco Bell. So here's the existing. Again, they're demolishing and constructing the new Taco Bell at this location. They're going to be using brick veneer and accents of hardy trim, which is appropriate materials within the DROD overlay. This is the site plan for the new build. So one big thing here that is going to be beneficial, I think, to everyone who goes to Taco Bell is there's a bailout lane. They're proposing a bailout lane, so you're not stuck in that. You know what I'm talking about. They're not stuck in that lane when the line might be a little bit too long. They're keeping the existing oak trees and everything like that. Pretty much the same overall. Other than that, these are the renderings showing the elevations showing the front, sides, and the rear. Pretty standard from what you see throughout other Taco Bells. The ARC found that the development meets the standards and guidelines within 24203B, and then the Planning Commission did recommend to approve this at their meeting.
Any questions for Zach or the architects? Anybody? What are you on the committee or?
I make a
council?
motion.
I'll second.
Thank y'all.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it passes. Mr. Mills, you've got the rest of the session.
All right, good
Los
afternoon.
Tarascos.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We have 3 applicants today. The first one is for Los Tarascos. applying for a restaurant and retail liquor license. They're located at 2312 4th Street. Hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. On Sundays, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. This is an area view of the location. Second slide shows land use view of Los Tarascos. This is the zoning view. This is the menu. Proposed floor plan.
Yeah.
Right now, Fire Marshal Stein said the occupancy load is 49 people.
What are the hours gonna
Let me go back to the slide. So, hours of operation will be Sunday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. The police department did not have any issues with it. Again, Chief Blankley here to answer any questions, as well as Fire Marshal Stein and the applicant.
be? Chief, you have any concerns?
I make a motion.
Second.
All right. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
What we got here?
The second applicant I have is for restaurant retail liquor license for Tuscany LLC. They're located at 2229 McFarland Circle North. The hours of operation will be Sunday 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Is this a transfer of ownership?
Yes, sir. This is the area view. Second slide shows land use view of businesses around it. This is a zoning view. This is menu. Proposed floor plan. The occupancy load at this time is 77 people. Again, the Tuscaloosa Police Department is not having issues with this applicant. Fire Marshal Steins is here, and Chief Blank, as well as the applicant, to answer any questions.
I make a motion.
I will second the motion.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor? All right. The Basil Sushi.
All right, and the last one I have is the Thai Basil Sushi 2. They're applying for a restaurant retail liquor license. The address is 1402 University Boulevard. Hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 9:30 p.m., and again, Friday and Saturday, 4:30 to 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. This is an area view.
Can you hold that for just a sec? So that's the old, Thai place?
Yes, sir. Should be a change of ownership again.
Yeah.
Y'all have any questions? I think the owner may be here. I don't know.
The owner's
No
here.
question. I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Anything else anybody would like to bring before this committee?
Yeah, motion to dismiss.
Second.
All in favor?